So real quick, boxing talk video on boxing. So we had a bunch of fights that are coming up. I was listening to them talk about Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo, probably be moved to June, as we have this little like sort of shutdown on everything in sports and so on. Looking forward to it if it does happen. Hope you guys are having a good day. Of course, the Gennady Golovkin Canelo fight is supposedly reportedly a signed deal, so that's another one. Talking about Billy Joe Saunders, talking about Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, which is supposed to be, the rematch is supposed to be in the summer or in August, I hear. Looking forward to that as well. Now, a lot of you guys are probably staying home. I'm going out to work right now because of the COVID 19 that's out there. Of course, we've found a bunch of information on it, but at the end of the day, it's just a virus. And if you keep your immune system up, like I said before, keep your immune system on point, take the necessary precautions, cleaning your hands, that kind of thing, you should be fine. Interacting with people, I wouldn't say minimize your interaction with people like they talk about social distancing. I put it more this way. Keep your hands clean. Your clothes, try to keep your clothes clean, that kind of thing. You can't really do so. And to be honest with you, if you clean your hands too much, it actually does not help your immune system. Let me explain what I mean. So you build resistance by actually interfacing with germs, even the viruses. You build your resistance that way because your body's able to make antibodies to them. The problem is when the viruses or germs get to infect in an area where the immune system can't get to them in time. And as a result of that, they get to multiply. It's the multiplication of viruses and germs and bacteria and fungi and that really causes them to be a detriment. Just one or two getting into your system, a couple million getting into your system also is a kind of problem. But again, if your immune system is robust, it can handle it. So the key is to get your immune system up on point. So let me give you guys some advice about how to boost your immune system. It's really simple. Early in the morning, you use a warm cup of, say, for instance, the following things. Don't have to use all of them. You can just use some of them. Garlic and ginger with some warm or hot water with a squeeze of lemon. These things boost your immune system. Greens, all kinds of greens, from lettuce, kale, cucumbers. You do a green bomb, a juice mix. That boosts your immune system. If you can get a multivitamin with the following things: selenium, zinc in it, and other trace metals. You want them at a certain amount of concentration. For selenium, you want it at about 100 micrograms. With zinc, I think it's like 20, I think it's nanograms or micrograms. I can't remember. You want the vitamins and minerals. So if you don't want to use a multivitamin, you can stick to eating fruits and vegetables. Don't use them together. Fruits, try to get the organic fruits if you can. Of course, fruits have a short turnaround. And a lot of green things, green spices, green herbs. There's things like saffron and green stuff, parsley, chive, that kind of stuff, okay? Use a lot of greens. Now, if you have a complication where your blood is too thick, then you'll have to dial back on the greens. You'll still have to use a lot of protein. Try to stay away from too many animal products. It's not that, because COVID-19 or COVID whatever is actually, it licks out livestock and cattle and stuff like that. So you want to really, it's a virus that moved from an animal to humans, right? So you really want to go with plant-based things for the next couple of days. The great thing about plant-based stuff is you can get a lot of protein from peas and beans and legumes. And the cool thing about peas, beans, legumes, seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, all these kinds of seeds, is that they actually also have cancer-fighting properties as well as immuno-boosting properties. Berries. Get every kind of berry, strawberry, cherry, raspberry, that kind of shit. Get those things. Use them in your diet for sweet. Try to stay away from processed sugars as much as possible, because that generally breaks down your immune system, as well as salt in excess. It's good to use salt. You can use table salt. It doesn't matter in your diet, but excessive use of salt is not also good for your immune system. Your immune system is not limited to your white blood cells and your lymphatics. It's actually, the first interface with your immune system is your skin. Then you have your intestinal tract, and then you have your respiratory tract, and you have incorporated systems that actually build up your immune system, not just hormonal, but also the pH of your body, the hydration properties of your body. All of these things boost your immune system or diminish it. The temperature of your body also determines your immune system, how things work out. So a lot of people who say they're healthy actually don't have a healthy immune system. The indicators most people use for the immune system are white blood cell count, platelet count, red blood cell count, etc. Look at your lymphatics, etc. But immune system that is perfectly well functioning has flow. Okay, it's not dependent on your heart rate, like one of the guys on Facebook was saying. He had a 40 beats, but that shows fitness. That doesn't show health. Okay, your pulse rate being low doesn't show necessarily your health. If you're healthy, you can have a low pulse and be very, very sick. Problem with a lot of people is they don't know that they're sick because you're not feeling the symptoms and you don't realize the immune system is compromised. Another thing that boosts your immune system is fresh air. Getting fresh air. Don't use air-conditioned air. Go get fresh air. Flowing air is great. You don't need to use a mask when you're outside in fresh air and there's not a lot of people around you. If there's a lot of people around you, a mask is important, but a mask is not important otherwise. If you're in an enclosed space, a mask might protect you from getting, but viruses are so small, they get past the mask easy. So really, that's not going to protect you. The thing that protects you is your line of defense, which is your immune system. If your immune system is on point, that's what will protect you the most, which means drinking enough water. If you don't drink enough water, the reflux can come back and burn your throat and actually have a sore there where it can be infected. So you want to limit infections in your body. And your body already has certain things that have infected it. There's a lot of microbes maybe in your gut, maybe in your system. Another thing you need to use is seal up your alimentary canal using things like what we call hold on a second, I don't remember. I forgot what the name of it is, but they're enzymes, probiotic, and you have prebiotic enzymes. With prebiotic enzymes, they allow the lining of the stomach to be sealed off and then provide that, a positive environment for the positive biotics or the positive bacteria and et cetera, fungi, et cetera, in your gut to be able to process things. Alfalfa is a prebiotic. You can get alfalfa, use it. There are many other prebiotics, so you don't just use probiotics, okay? Another thing you can use, and these are all cheap things to get, by the way. Alfalfa costs like $40-something for a bottle, or you could just buy the alfalfa sprouts and eat. Any kind of green stuff is good. Try to get the organic, though. Don't try to get the genetically GMOs. Try to stay away from drugs like Advil, pain, Tylenol, and all that kind of stuff. You want to stay away from those medications. Those medications, even if you have a fever, best thing to do, take a cold compress, put it on your head, have a hot bath with your feet. The hot to cold will help to boost the fever. Then you put something and make you sweat even more. You want to get even more fever. The fever is trying to vent out the viruses. Coronaviruses, they tend to become sort of unstable in extreme temperatures. So you want to send your temperature way up, give yourself a huge fever so that you come out of it the next day, sweat out the virus, okay? So all of these things you can use if you're infected and you're showing symptoms. There's a number of things you can use. In my country, we use what's called a herbal balm. That is, we use some natural plants like chandelier bush, like zebra peak bush, like there's all these different bushes, okay? Lemongrass and so on. We put it together in a balm and we drink that thing. And it can help you, as well as it could hinder you. More than likely it'll help you, okay? It's all there to help boost your immune system. See, your immune system is built up of enzymes and metabolic pathways, and then we have, certain cells conduct things in certain chemical ways. And not only that, but we also have the environment around it. That's the biggest defense of your body. You don't want to make it go all the way to your white blood cells. You want either the immunoglobulins to get in contact with these things, which are called antibodies, or you want your body's pH and just the environment will be one in which a virus cannot exist in. So those are lines of defense people don't talk much about. I don't know of any virus that can actually get past your skin. How viruses get into your body is through things like epithelial layers, like your tongue, which have spaces and gaps in them where the virus can pass through. Sometimes through certain areas of your alimentary canal, which have holes in them, that kind of thing. So anyway, most viruses, most bacteria exist in rancid or acidic environments. Now, while your entire body is not always basic, or shall I say alkaline, if your body is to some degree, especially your blood, if your blood is slightly alkaline or even heavily alkaline, that's good because that's a pathway that it has to go through. And if your lymphatics can be alkaline as well, that would work in a very good way. The tissues, different tissues have different pHs, different environments, like you have gastric juices, which are acidic. So you can't expect everything in your body to be basic, but the point is you want the main circulatory systems to be basic. You also want them not to be clogged up. There's no backup anywhere because that's where bacteria, viruses, and fungi begin to do well. And this can happen when glands are clogged up for some reason. And all your glandular areas, you got to make sure. Now, the thing that causes glands to clog up, dehydration, or deposits of chemicals into your body in different places. Now, just in your circulatory system, plaque can build up, but plaque can build up in your brain. It can build up in your glandular systems. It can build up in your muscles, etc. So you have to think about these things and have a nice free flow. Okay, that's enough about the COVID-19 virus. I could say a whole bunch more, but we'll stop right there. Now, the important thing for you guys to realize, in boxing, what I loved about Roger Mayweather was a sense of knowledge. I was listening to Fight Hub TV. I forgot what his name is. Vargas, what is his name? Marcus Vegas. And he was talking about, his opportunity to interview Roger Mayweather and actually learn so much from him about boxing. And Roger Mayweather was like an encyclopedia of boxing. The man knew boxing. He knew what boxing was. And that's where I actually use a lot of my quotes and stuff, besides Barry Robinson, Middle Stands Boxing, and Eric Bradley, Fight Doctor. A lot of my quotations come from him, as well as from several different fighters, Virgil Hunter also being another trainer that I quote quite a lot. Now, the important thing for people to understand about guys like Roger Mayweather, he wasn't there for the fame and the glory. He was there to get the job done. He should have been a Hall of Fame trainer, and hopefully they induct him into the Boxing Hall of Fame because he trained one of the greatest fighters of all time. He also trained the best ever fighter to ever put on a pair of gloves. And he did it in a very aggressive way. Roger Mayweather was a guy who made Floyd walk down opponents. Most of the fights, Floyd was going forwards. There were certain fights where he wasn't going forwards, but he was always looking for an opportunity to go forward. Roger had that aggressive style, as we all know. And but the beautiful thing about Roger Mayweather was he still keep your defense on point. Floyd had an incredible defense. Jeff Mayweather, of course, being one of the better defensive fighters in the Mayweather family. Of course, Senior was also on point. But Roger also taught defense with everything. So Roger Mayweather was a naturally born teacher of boxing. Unfortunately for him, there came a point that seems that he wasn't teaching boxing much anymore. And unfortunately for him, the effects of boxing on him, not just his health in terms of diabetes. That's another thing. I warned Jeff Mayweather. Jeff Mayweather still holding on to those sweets. He almost died very soon, a time back. This is my suggestion to Jeff Mayweather. Somebody get it to Jeff Mayweather. You can use sweet things, but they don't have to have sugar in them like how you have sugar. There are things now called maltose. There are actual sugars. I ate drops just recently there from coconut sugar, from forgot what the other sugar is. It'll come to me sometime. And these are great sweet sugars, but they're not processed with the same kind of glycemic index as processed sugar that comes from beet or cane. And you could also use sugar cane juice. You can also use beet juice in your ice creams and stuff if you have a sweet tooth for things. So you can use alternates to sugar. Now, you still can't use them in abundance, but the good news is there are sugars out there now which are safe to use. Not the ones like, some of those sugars that are not natural sugars, which also have side effects. You don't want to get the amino sugars. You want to get the sugars that are sugars, but they just happen to be alternatives to glucose. All right. Anyway, peoples, man, or sucrose, should I say. All right, people, that's all I got for today. Check you guys later. I just wanted to tune in, let you guys know what was up. Peace.